Another Sunday with nothing happening. The excitement on TV tonight's Dean Martin movie, Old Western. Got my first one in. Let's see if they stay. Nope, they left. Got 4 more to go then. I always get 5 every live stream. That just pop in, stay here for 20 seconds, and leave. Not quite sure why they do it every time. Nothing changes. It's the same type of live stream each time. Nothing exciting. There's number 2 in. This one's staying longer than 20 seconds. Oh, there they go. Must be they forgot where they were at. Now I got 3 more to go. This is exciting. I always get them 5 every time. They just come in for 20 seconds and stay, and then leave. I was going to take earlier and put out notification earlier that I was going to do it live tonight, and then I forgot to do it. And then I forgot about it anyways, because I originally was going to do this at 8. So if I had posted a notification I was going to do one at 8, I would have missed it. But I guess that's the fun of YouTube. Just like there's a lot of them that do premieres and then forget to show up for those. But most of the premieres that anybody does anymore are getting where they're less and less productive because they have too many people that the same group that come into their channel all the time and just spam it right full of emojis. And it's not even a person doing it. They've got a computer program that just sits there and fills it up full of emojis like that. And the people doing the premiere thinks that, oh, but they're helping me. They're showing support. Well, it's not support. And when it fills the thing so full of emojis that nobody else can comment, the rest of the people leave. And then YouTube don't count those comments from all the emojis anyways. So they're just hurting themselves. And then a bunch of them are complaining, but I'm not getting a salary from YouTube. Well, if you're not doing anything that's creating the watch hours and the viewers and stuff, you're not going to get it. There's a lot of people that have just flat out quit using YouTube because of the way it's gotten. There's too many of them in here that all they do is push for a thumbs up and how many times that they can get somebody to comment and posting silly emojis that don't mean anything, that the rest of the people don't want to come to them anymore, and they're just quitting. quite often I think the same thing. I could just delete everything off my channel, not have any videos, not do any live streams, and strictly just use it to go watch the channels that I want to watch for the videos that I like. That was what I originally started with YouTube on, was just watching videos of a different, subject matter that I liked. I got talked into doing this like this, but it's getting where it's not fun anymore. And then you get a bunch of them that all they do is come on and start doing their live streams and stuff, and first thing they're doing is they're saying how they can't afford this, they can't afford this, or this has happened, that's happened, and want people to send them money. They kind of use YouTube like a, hi Mary, how are you this evening or this morning? They kind of use YouTube like a GoFundMe page. Yeah, I started this later than I intended. And again, it's kind of doing like it has been the last couple I've done. The people are slow coming in. After I do it, get going for a while here like that, and about ready to close up and end it, then I'll get people start showing up in it. Yeah, that's right. You're in Hong Kong, so it's morning there. Trying to think. Let me take a quick look. I know you do stuff on food and travel, but are you an OFW? Or yeah, I know you're an OFW. Are you a domestic helper there? I know a few different OFWs in Hong Kong, and also some that have been there and have gone back now home. Hey, Ivy. How are you this morning? You never did get back with me the other night. More on what you were saying there about David. Your tummy still hurts. Why, you're pregnant again? Go for baby number 3. What are you doing today, Ivy? Hey, Annie. I need to go back and check your channel, because whenever I run across stuff for you, it's always your older videos, and I watch those, but for some reason I'm not getting notification that you're doing a new one. No, it's not my birthday. You know better than that. Yeah, in my recommended videos and stuff like that, yours pops up every once in a while, Annie, and it's always some of the older ones you've done with the exercising and stuff like that. See, today's the 26th of June. We got the 4th of July holiday coming up here shortly. People are already setting off fireworks for it. And the sad thing is, fireworks are expensive. And the people that go and buy them and then set them off, for a week in advance and whatever, or 2 weeks, are the ones that don't have any money. They'll spend their money on that instead of the things they need at home. So, Ivy, why do you have a tummy ache? Well, you need to show Sheen how to wash clothes. She could help you once in a while, do some of them. Let her do the smaller items that are easier to wash. Get that much done for you. And the funny part, I'm doing these lives like this. The people that are always asking me to do them are the ones that don't show up. I get different people that are saying there once in a while, well, when are you going to do a live again? What time are you going to do it? And then they don't show up anyways. I know there's a few of you that are working, so you kind of have to come and go as you have time while you're working if you're going to be at any of these. That's understandable. A stranger in a strange land. Now, what land is stranger than the Philippines? The U.S. It's getting strange anymore. But a lot of times, they're like, if I'm doing stuff like that, and I try to go to somebody's live, I can't stay with it because I'm on a laptop, so I can't just carry it around or outside or whatever. Where a lot of you, especially you girls, use your cell phones, you can stick it in your pocket or whatever and just have your earphones in, and then you can listen to what's going on as you're running around working. I do that sometimes, we'll be at one of these like this, and then I'm, back and forth to the kitchen fixing supper or outside taking care of the kitties or whatever, and then I come back in. I have to scroll way back through the chat to see what I missed while I was gone. And a lot of times there's some people that come into them that don't stay very long. So if you miss them when they're here for a few minutes, you don't get a chance to talk to them because they're already gone. Well, I just can't quit yawning tonight. I went and had that laser surgery done on my left eye the other day. It was on Tuesday of this past week. My vision had got real cloudy looking and everything, trying to see anything, and it just made stuff blurry to be able to do. I go back to see the doctor tomorrow just for him to recheck it, but it just so much better than what it was before he did it. And then I'll go ahead and see about getting it scheduled to do my right eye. It's not as bad as what the left eye was, but it's starting to get a little bit of cloudiness in it. So get that one taken care of too. So they're both done now. So I always tell people, take care of your eyes, because what do you do that you don't use your eyes for other than to sleep? And I don't want to just sit around and sleep all the time. I got too much stuff I like to be able to do, even if it's no more than sitting here watching a YouTube video or something. And if I can't see, I can't do that even. I mean, if you got into some situation, where you lost a hand or lost a foot or whatever, it would make it more difficult to do stuff or to get around. But you can adapt and still do it. But if you can't see, that limits a lot of what you can do. One of the simple things you take for granted, going out and getting the car and driving to town to get groceries. I mean, it's not something I look forward to doing, but if I couldn't see, then I couldn't do it. I'd have to depend on somebody else to help me. And I'm just too damn independent. I don't like to ask people for help. And that sometimes is where I run into problems because I'm doing stuff that would be so much easier to have somebody helping me do it, and I'm out trying to do it by myself. I'm trying to think, Mike Roberts, if he's still on the road or if he's home. Yeah, I know. I'm just not that religious in that aspect, you know. I've always kind of went with the idea that, I have to look out for myself. Somebody else isn't going to do it for me. Yeah. And see, there you go. I mean, two different diagnoses, but still, either way, you want to see about getting it taken care of. Now, what does LASIK surgery actually do? I know it's different than the laser surgery that I had. I think it's more involved. Plus, it's also more expensive. And being overweight affects a lot of things in your body. I would like to lose 10 to 15 pounds. I know I feel better when I lose weight. It lets me lower my blood pressure without having to take the meds for it. Okay, that's what I thought the LASIK was. Reshapes the eye for vision. Let's see, what I had was laser because I had cataract surgery done on both eyes in 2019. And well, that's the way I am because, like I said, when I had the cataract surgery done, the doctor asked me what I wanted for vision afterwards because they take the old lens out that's got the cataracts on it that you can't see through anymore, and in a new lens, it's artificial. It's like a contact put inside your eyeball, I guess. But he asked me, did I want to see for up close or far away? Well, at that time, I was still looking at driving truck, commercial, being on the road, professional driver. I said, I want to be able to see down the road. So that's what he did with both of my eyes was put the lens in for distance. But for using the computer or reading or whatever, I have to wear these. But I can't see to do anything. When I get up and walk around, I have to either take them off or look over the top of them because for the distance, for even for walking, it messes up my vision where I'll stumble over stuff. Or even like here, I'm sitting here using the glasses here to read, and I look over the top of them to see my TV. Well, He asked me about that when I had the cataract surgery, if I wanted one eye for far and one eye for close. And I was worried about it interfering with each other, that would mess me up. I had them both done for far. And with this last bit, like I said, I had the laser surgery, which all that did is, from what I read online and the way I understand what he said, when they put the new lens in for cataract surgery, apparently it's in a plastic bag and they don't take it out. Now, my sister does that too. She needs her glasses for far. But anyways, that little plastic bag to leave the lens in, when they put it in your eye, it gets cloudy sometimes, not always. And then they have to go in and kind of like break it up, cut a hole in it, whatever, behind the lens so that you can see through it again. And to me, it seems like if they know there's a potential to maybe have a problem, why don't they remove it before they put it in? Then they don't have to go back and do what I had done. Now, the cataract surgery, to remove the lens, because they go in, they break it up and then vacuum it out, all done through the needle. I mean, they go into the side of your eyeball with a needle and go inside and do all this stuff, you know. Everything's so microscopically done anymore. But they vacuum out the old lens, and then through that needle, they insert the new lens and lets it unroll and goes into place. It takes about 10 minutes to do one eye. You're there a lot longer because before you have to go in beforehand so they can dilate the eye and put a carload of drops and stuff into your eye and whatnot. And then they semi put you out because you're not completely out. The doctor's talking to you while doing the surgery. You can hear him talking. He's telling you how to move your eye a certain way, whatever. And then afterwards, you have the recovery before they let you go home. But the actual surgery itself takes about 10 minutes. Now, the laser surgery that I had the other day, where I'm sitting there in front of a little machine, and he's on the other side of it, and he's got this whatever pointing into my eye. I couldn't see it there because he put a big glass deal onto it. It had some, he said, adhesive, but I think it stuck to my eyeball to kind of hold my eye open so I wouldn't blink. And on my other eye that was not, being anything done with, I kind of see a red light glow a little bit, whatever. But every once in a while I hear it go click, 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 where he was, doing whatever he was doing. But it took less than a minute and he's done. Yeah, I agree with that. It's the same thing like a lot of your medications. If you take and read the stuff on them, the side effects a lot of times are worse than what the cure is. You're trying to cure something minor and you have 15 side effects that are worse. That's why I'm so resistant to try to take, meds and stuff. And I flat out tell my doctor that I don't like meds. So I don't take any. Right now I'm taking meds for high blood pressure. I have to keep my blood pressure at a certain level to be able to maintain my CDL. And last year when I went to see him, my cholesterol was up. It's been up some for years. And he's always said, if you give me a prescription for it, would I take it? And I'd say no. He said, okay. But the last time I went in, he said it was up to the point it was getting dangerous where it could lead to heart problems. He said he would compromise with me. And normally they start you off at 10 milligrams. He started me at 5. And when I went in April to see him again, I go every 6 months. I asked how my cholesterol was, and he said perfect. So that 5 milligram medication he gave me, did the job. If I would taking, kind of get my head out of my butt, you might say, cholesterol can be controlled by exercise and diet. I mean, stay away from some foods that raise your cholesterol. But I like everything, so I eat everything. And the other thing is exercise. Well, I don't get out and do the stuff I used to. So my exercise level is less than it used to be. Which that pushed my cholesterol higher. It's caused me to gain a little bit of weight. And then I just got lazy. A little bit ago, I've sort of asked you, a stranger in a strange land, who you are. I was going to post your link, but I can't find your channel. So if you want to let her know a little bit about yourself or whatever. I so is one of my Filipino friends from near Dumaguete. She has live streams quite often. Did you used to use a different name for your channel? A lot of times when you change the name, it doesn't change in YouTube as far as searching the channel. But if you go back and enter the old name, it'll pop up. Ivy used to be on here all the time doing live streams. She's just now getting back doing more of them lately. But she had a baby just after the first year, so was kind of busy there for a while. I was at a live stream yesterday, and there were some people that came in there, and they were all friends of. No, nothing like that, Ivy. But they had some people came in there that the one that they all followed, his channel was Ride Along Gang. You know, kind of sounds neat, but strange. Again, something hard to find. You always want me to come be your host because you want me to sing, and I told you before I don't sing. Hell, some days I have trouble talking. I sit and talk long enough here on the live stream like this, and after a while I get where I get so hoarse I can't hardly talk. Yeah, that's something I seldom ever do anymore is drink. I mean, iced tea. Years ago, I used to, be out every weekend, wherever there was a country and western band for a dance. And I would, be there and drink all night and dance with them all evening. But I don't get out like that anymore. And I just don't drink like I used to. If I have one beer every 6 months, is a lot for me compared, to what used to be. Mm-hmm. Now the iced tea, I go through probably a half gallon or so of it every day. Yeah, and like you were saying there a bit ago, I'll wake the baby up, okay. But I used to go out a lot, not to drink, but just go to like the Chinese buffets or Golden Corral or whatever. Go out several evenings a week, to, to eat that way. I enjoyed getting out, and I didn't have to fix the meals. And I had friends at all the places I went to where I could just sit there and talk with them half the evening. But since COVID, everything was shut down for so long, I didn't get back out to them. And I just recently went out to one of them here, first of this month. I had an eye doctor's appointment early afternoon, and afterwards I went to Chinese buffet and then went to Walmart and got cat food. Yeah, I've I've heard a lot of people say that, you drink just so much of it, then it don't taste good anymore. That's like years ago, I was going with a girl that worked at a place called Don's, which was like Duff's, which is another version of the Golden Corral. And I was eating my supper there maybe 5 nights a week because when I got off work, I'd go there and I would eat while I was waiting for her to get done work. And then we'd come home. And it got to the point I got tired of that food too. Hey, Ken. Well, I've never been a big drinker, per se, anyways. Hey, Marine. Marine, you need to let Ken know which cats you want because he's supposed to be coming down to pick a bunch of them up for you. But you got to tell him which ones. I've lost a few of the babies this week. Um, Little Tan there that had I thought she had six, but then the last I could only find five. No, I don't want no more puppies. I don't want no more pets, period. I wish I didn't have what I have. But anyways, one of them disappeared here recently. I don't know what happened to it. But sometimes if a kitten dies, the mother will eat it so that it doesn't draw other animals around. But I went out the other day there and found two of them dead. And yesterday I was she was out there with them, and I got one of them there. It hasn't been eating good. She hasn't been nursing it. And I went and got it and cleaned it up and took it to get some water to drink and whatnot. And it died there while I was still sitting there holding it. So she's down to just one baby now. Well, when I was first drinking, out of high school and college, stuff like that, I used to get hangovers there from some of my drinking. But as time went on, it got where I didn't get them anymore. I could go out and drink all night long and not have a hangover the next day. I guess I just got more tolerant to the alcohol or something. And basically, all a hangover is just because you're dehydrated. Alcohol dehydrates you. If you eat before or while drinking, your body can't absorb the alcohol as fast, so you don't get drunk as easily. And if you take and drink other fluids afterwards or whatever to rehydrate your body, you don't have the hangover. Well, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I wasn't doing that, but um, when I graduated from high school, we had our class parties and stuff that night afterwards, and I got right into it. I mean, I had I had a mug that I was getting beer because we had a keg, and every time I turned around, I'd walk by somebody and they were pouring some kind of whiskey in my mug, and I was drinking that. I got so freaking drunk and got sick that night. Next morning felt like crap, and I had to go help my uncle lay linoleum. That was not a good day. Yeah, and that's good because, like I said, that rehydrates your body and helps to eliminate that hangover. If you drink milk or something prior, helps to coat your stomach so your body doesn't absorb the alcohol as fast. And what I used to drink afterwards was always orange juice. Hey, Mike, you still on the road or you home? I was just talking about that a minute ago because I couldn't remember where you were at. I mean, I know the other day you was in Texas, but I lose track of time. Yeah, that's probably about true. You're in Detroit, okay. So you're not home yet. But like you say, Ivy, let David do the laundry. But yeah, you keep getting rid of the, the fluid out of your system, and that just dehydrates you. And if you don't want to get drunk, I mean, some people drink because they enjoy it. Others drink because they want to get drunk, and I can't see the logic in that. I mean, what do you gain by getting drunk? A lot of times it ends up just, you end up doing something stupid or get in trouble or whatever. But if you only do it just because you enjoy it, and again, I've only had it a time or two, so I really can't, give a definite on it if there's much difference in taste. But go with the non-alcoholic, you know, beers and stuff like that. supposed to still supposedly still have the same taste as the alcoholic beverage does. But if you don't have the alcohol, you're not going to get drunk. You're not going to be dehydrated. All right, well, that's what I was just saying. I've only had it a time or two, and I don't remember how they actually tasted. And if they're not the same supposedly brand of what you normally drink, they will taste different anyways. Well, I can understand that, Mike, and it's the same thing with, I've always, asked people, why do you go out and smoke pot to get high? What do you get out of it? Yeah, well, that's why I was saying the milk coats your stomach, and you're putting fluid back in your stomach. I used to work with a tree cutter, and a lot of nights on the way home from wherever we were working, because we usually had an hour drive or whatever coming back from where we was doing tree work at, we would stop at some convenience store and fuel up the trucks and the chipper and all that stuff. Go in and buy snacks, and I always bought a half gallon of chocolate milk, drank on the way home. No, I'm not sure what the crystal waters are. The seltzer waters I don't like. I don't drink that much soft drinks, or as it's called here in Florida, soda. But like I say, I kind of live on my iced tea, which is not really good for you anyways because of the caffeine. My doctor keeps, suggesting why don't I go to decaffeinated, but well, one more of them things, decaffeinated costs more. Yeah, I have a neighbor just down the road here, a young guy. He does that all the time. He always has like a canning jar or some other small glass container, or whatever, and he'll have about that much booze in it, and he'll sit out here with us, talking, or I'll stand out in the road, we're talking or whatever, and he'll just keep sipping on it. Yeah, Mike, and the energy drinks are not really good for you. They're too high in caffeine, which is not good for your body. And excessive caffeines harden your heart and causes high blood pressure. And that's one thing, like I say, with me drinking the iced tea, I don't drink the decaffeinated, so I'm getting a lot of caffeine that way, so it's not good for me. I'm going to mess up your name and say it, Razia. Hi, how are you this evening or this morning? Yeah, I've never had any of them either, Kim. And even like the um, Gatorades or any of those, I don't care for those. There's one that I've gotten. It's not the Gatorade brand. I don't remember what brand it even is. Okay, Mike, but can't even remember the flavor, but it's something I found at Walmart a while back, and I've got it a couple times. I just buy one bottle of it, and I won't get another one for a couple of months. And I kind of like it, but just the regular straight Gatorades and stuff that everybody says, well, you need to drink those, to rehydrate your body for whatever when you're working outside and stuff. I don't care for them. Well, any kind of juice is good, other than you may have problems with it, if you're diabetic or something because of the sugar content, but juice is good for you. But the sugar-free drinks like, Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi or any of those, they're worse for you than drinking the regular ones, because the artificial flavoring they put in them is worse for you than the sugar, even if you're diabetic. Yeah. And sodium also increases blood pressure. That's one of the things I have problems with a lot of the Filipinos when they're cooking, is they always put so much salt in everything they fix. I haven't even bought salt in for near 20 years. My dad had kidney cancer and then went on dialysis. And one of the things of many things that he wasn't allowed to eat or drink or whatever, he wasn't allowed to have salt. I used to eat a lot of meals with mom and dad just to be here to help mom with stuff because dad couldn't do a lot of things. And I got in the habit of not having the salt because she, didn't cook with it anymore. And for a while there, she was trying to buy all the salt-free, canned vegetables and package this and whatever to keep him away from the salt too. So I just got where I quit using it and, haven't, like I say, I haven't bought it in close to 20 years. I like V8, Ken. I don't always buy it because just pricing. I get cheap and buy just a straight tomato juice. I've never tried that, Ken. Well, and the other thing is, most foods that you eat naturally have salt in them anyways. So your body gets what salt it needs. Trying to think whether it was this time or it was 6 months ago. I don't remember. Don't matter. But when I went back to my doctor again, like I said, I go every 6 months. Before I go, he has me go have blood work done. And I'm not one for, taking the vitamins and stuff. And they say as you get older, like, whatever, you should be taking them multivitamin, adult vitamins or whatever. I don't do that stuff. I figure I get most everything I need from what I eat. But he said that my vitamin D was low. Said he didn't know how I felt or was afraid of or whatever as far as with COVID. But for what he said, and I've heard others say, people that are low on vitamin D have more of a chance of ending up hospitalized or dying from COVID. So somewhere along the way, they must have figured that vitamin D helps to regulate a little bit, resist it more, whatever. So he recommended start taking vitamin D, which normally mine's always been good. But you get vitamin D from the sun, you get vitamin D like from milk and stuff like that, and some other foods do it. He said he don't like to depend on getting it from the foods. He'd rather I just did the other way. And I asked him about it, mine being different before, and I says, well, one of the things I used to do is I always bought ice cream. I was always either eating a bowl of ice cream most every night, or I was making a milkshake every night. And I mean, when I made them, big glass, it wasn't nothing small. So I was getting the vitamin D from that. And but I haven't, been having the milkshakes and whatnot all the time like I used to. So I've kind of, restricted myself maybe a little bit. Yeah, he's gone. But anyways, I told him about that, and he says, yeah. He says, but the other thing is, he says, if I go do that to get my vitamin D back, he said, then with the milk, he said, I'm pushing my cholesterol up again. So it's one of them, again, one thing makes the next thing worse. So I went and bought a bottle of vitamin D. I think for like 500 of them, it was $8 or something. I don't remember. I take another vitamin supplement. I don't know what's in it. It's a Bausch and Lomb product called PreserVision, and I take it. It's supposed to be to help slow down the process of macular degeneration, which I've got the start of. Many people do, but they say that vitamin is supposed to help slow the procession. But that stuff's expensive because, I mean, I get it at Walmart's cheapest I found because the grocery stores and stuff was more. But at Walmart, for a bottle of 400, you take, one in the morning, one in the evening, twice a day, whatever. But for a bottle of 400, it's $30-some. But I go ahead, like I say, I take them just because I tell people all the time, what do you do? Take care of your eyes, because what do you do that you don't use your eyes for other than to sleep? So if you screw up your eyes and you can't see, it's going to limit a lot of things that you're used to doing every day. Things that you take for granted, like go out and get in the car and drive to town to get groceries. Well, every time I buy a bottle of them PreserVision, each box has a coupon in it, which gives you $5 off 2 more bottles. So every time when I buy them, which is not that often because 400 of them, that's 200 days, and if I buy 2 of them to get 5 off, that's 400 days. So it's over a year that I buy 2 bottles. I take that $5 coupon in with me, so I get $5 off to 60 something for the 2 bottles. $5 don't sound like a lot when you're spending over 60, but every dollar helps. That's like when I went and had my laser surgery done the other day. I had to get a prescription for eye drops for afterwards. I had to take eye drops 4 times a day for 5 days. Well, I went to the pharmacy to buy it, just a little bottle, and I used 20 drops out of it, but it was $90-some for that bottle. I had to pay 35 of it. Insurance paid the other 60 something. I mean, the only advantage of it is there's enough in the bottle that when I go get the other eye done now, I can use the same one, I think, and not have to buy another bottle of it. You leaving us? I'm glad you stopped in. Yeah, and I forgot where he's from. He said he started his channel because he thought he was going to the Philippines every year, but then with COVID, it got kind of put on kibosh for a while. But when he was talking about sodas a while ago, he called it soft drink, which puts him, I would say, in the northeast U.S. somewhere, because they call it soft drink up there. Down here, it's soda. In the Midwest, it's pop. Did Maureen leave? She got quiet. Annie was in here earlier when I started. She got quiet too. And then there was another OFW that was here. Mary, last name was Mhee. She's an OFW in Hong Kong. She said she'd be in the background because she's still working. Okay. Well, her sister can come in here and talk too. We don't bite too hard. Ken, I know Mike saw it because him and I talked about it. Did you see the live stream that Patrick and John Lynn did the other day where they ran out of fuel on the side of the highway? Ran the Pete out of fuel. And then before they could get it started, which I'm thinking they didn't get the filters primed properly, they ran the batteries down so the truck wouldn't start. And with the truck sitting there not running, he said that Jonah's daughter had everything possible on back in the sleeper. And then Jonah decided to use the air hose to go around and blow everything out, cleaning the floors and everything. So it drained all their air pressure down. Just no common sense or planning in that whole situation. And then the guy from Love's that came out got out his battery jump box or whatever the hell he had there, hooked it up to the truck to try to start it with that, and it was only putting out 10 volts. And then they've got I don't know which one they've got, whether they've got Easy Pass, Pre-Pass, or whatever. I think it was Easy Pass for the tolls and stuff. But they don't have it stuck to the windshield like it's supposed to be. So when they're going down the road and come up to a toll booth, Jonah gets up there and holds it up in the windshield and tries to move it around to get the thing to read it at the toll booth. Sometimes it reads it, sometimes it don't. Then they have to stop and get a ticket to go on to the next one. We were supposed to have got some rain today. Still showing rain south of us, but we never got anything here. Humidity 75%, got up to 88 degrees today. It's only 78 here now. They're talking thunderstorms for tomorrow. Well, that's like the other day, Mike. They were loading some steel panels, and they got a bunch of big cardboard sheets they put on the ends of them before they put the blankets on, before they put the tarps on to try to protect their equipment. And they kept falling off, in the wind or when they drag a blanket up over it, whatever. And I told them, I says, put a piece of duct tape on each one just to hold it in place till you get the blanket over it. Well, she didn't know if they had any duct tape in the truck. I kind of got onto her. I says, every good truck driver carries duct tape. That's a universal fix-all. Hell, when I was transporting cars, I picked up 2 cars for a guy down here south of here in Florida. Took him to, where'd they go to? Wichita, Kansas. And one of them was not in the greatest of shape. He had one back door on it that wouldn't stay shut. I duct taped the door shut. He was a pilot for, I don't remember, Delta or who it was. But him and his family was moving from east coast of Florida to Wichita. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mike. When they were passing out brains, they thought they said trains. I said, no thanks, I'll take the bus. like I say, I always carried duct tape and electrical tape both in the truck with me. There's so many things that you can kind of patch back together with either one of them to at least get you on to someplace to get it fixed right or get home with it. Yeah, another place you can use duct tape there too, Mike, is if you're with a company that's got the two-way cameras in them, put it over the inside camera. That is something I would not want to deal with, is having the camera looking at me all the time while I'm driving. That's about it, Ken. Here, I don't remember, 2 years ago maybe, neighbor across the road there had a big pine tree he wanted to cut down. And the way it leaned, I said I figured I could notch it and bring it back around to drop it along the edge of the road across his driveway, but it was leaning out over the highline wires. So just to be safe, we took his Kenworth, got big chains and run up. Got ladders out, got it up the tree there, hooked chain to that and to the semi to use it just to give it a little bit of a pull to be sure it went where we wanted it. But before we started anything, got up and stuck a piece of duct tape across the windshield so that the camera looking out the windshield didn't show what we were doing. And he's also got the cameras on each door mirror. We hung a rag over each one of those. That way it just eliminates the ideas that they couldn't see what we were doing with the truck on, private time. But just that little bit of pull with the semi give us, what we needed just to drop the tree where I wanted it. That way it didn't hit any wires and wasn't blocking the road. And he didn't have no rush to get it cut up and cleaned up and get it out of the way, other than having it done before he had to go back to work Monday. Ken, are you still having problems getting cars in for your dealership? Last week when I went to have my eye surgery, I was noticing there as I was driving up US 441, the Dodge dealer had all kinds of pickups on the lot. Ford and GMC had practically none. And I'm trying to think who the other one was. I don't know if it was Kia or who it was. Their lot was full. Well, I agree with that, Mike, and I say that all the time. That's just like with YouTube or Yahoo email or any of that stuff. Every time you turn around, they're changing it, making it bigger and better. And I usually find that a lot of their changes to make it bigger and better made it worse. Yeah, I remember when Dad used to buy cars, he always ordered it. He got, what he wanted on it and stuff like that. Said he didn't buy one off the lot. The last car they got, Mom bought a 2012 damn, I can't think what kind it was. Small SUV anyways. But she did buy it off the lot. And I kind of talked her into going and getting, not necessarily that one, but talked her into getting something like that because she was having so much problems with Dad. That Buick that I have now was theirs. And you're set so low when you're in the car, it was hard for him to get in and out of the car. And then her always trying to help to pull him out of the car was hurting her shoulders. I've never had power water, so I don't know anything about it. Zero sugar's good, but what does it say on there that they're using for sweetener? Is it natural or have they had an artificial? I, Speaking of not seeing many as you're driving, Mike, I noticed too when I was on the road, I saw several hot shot car haulers, and every one of them was running empty. I don't know where they were going to or coming from, but it wasn't one of them had a car on them. Hey, Ernez, how are you this morning? I've missed your last couple lives, premieres, or whatever you've had. The darn notifications are terrible getting out. Time I see that you've done one, it's over with. I'll have to go back and catch yours like I do with Bikini Hiker or JB's and watch the replay. Yeah, Biden's talking now about trying to help the economy and have a federal fuel tax holiday, I think till August or something. So your diesel will drop, whatever the federal fuel tax is, should drop in price. But you probably won't gain anything from it because they'll raise the fuel price that much after they take the tax off of it. Yeah, when Bikini was out walking the other day there, she had to go to the market or someplace. She was saying how hot it was. And then her and Amor were out on their day off this past week. It was in a park or someplace like that, and took their lunch with her. She was saying it was hot there too. Well, this time they didn't go hiking. They were both sitting in the park wearing dresses. They were all dressed up, just taking a picnic like for the day. Ken, she's in Hong Kong. She's an OFW in Hong Kong. She's part of the bunch you used to see back and forth together all the time with JB Vlogs, Mia Morfatti, Bikini Hiker Hong Kong, Angie Rain. Yeah, when Maureen goes back to Baguio, she'll have to get her winter coat back out. Well, it's good they're able to get out, together that way and just do nothing for a day. I mean, it's nice seeing the hiking videos and the tunnels and all that stuff, but that takes a lot out of you too, on your only day off. If you can get your days off to match up with theirs, you'll have to join them. Even though she's home and on the go all the time with everything with her farm, JB still goes out in the morning and runs a lot of days. She used to go out most every morning and every evening before and after work and run when she was in Hong Kong, and now she goes out in the mornings at home in the Philippines. maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Bikini was in a 10K marathon. Yeah, and just having a breeze of some kind helps to make it seem cooler, even if it is hot. That's one of the things there that Sammy says that at her place all the time. It's always got a breeze because they're so close to the water. Also, if you have a breeze, helps to eliminate mosquitoes. It's gone up a little bit more again then. When I was talking with Ina and Mike the other day, they were talking about it being up, and she was wanting to move some money from the U.S. over there while the rate was high. I got to sit down someday and figure out what the difference is on the rates between Western Union and PayPal. I used to use Western Union all the time, but haven't in a long time. I just use PayPal more recently. And I got a thing from Western Union here this past week there that they're running a special or whatever that for bonus points or whatever I guess you want to say for sending money with them. And then so many points, you put them toward getting free transfers and whatever. Well, yeah, that's the only ones I use. But like I say, I haven't used the Western Union in a long time, so I don't know what the difference in the rates are, which one's cheaper. And I agree with you, Mike. And once you start that, it seems to be never ending. Well, that and the one that they use over there all the time is that Gcash, but I don't think we can get that here. I think that's supposed to be cheaper. Maybe we just put a whole bunch of $100 bills in an envelope and mail it to them. Yeah, put your PayPal number up there, Mike. I need to borrow some money. No, just put it in an envelope, Mike, or Ken, and mail it. A letter only takes 12 days from here to the Philippines. I don't remember what the cost is anymore for a letter. Used to only be about 80 cents, but I'm sure it's like everything else is up. I don't know, Mike. For us to send you money, the exchange rate's probably too high. See, we don't have Dallas money. Need to see about getting another pair of these glasses. I don't get my glasses through the eye doctor. I'm too cheap. I buy these off the rack at like Save a Lot or someplace where I pay $1.50 for them. But I haven't got any in a long time, so they're probably more than that now. But I think I need to get some one step stronger than what these are. Let's see if I can get a couple pair of them or so. There's a pair I got out in the truck that I use for working around the garage and stuff like that. I've dropped them so many times and whatever, they're getting scratched up. I need to throw them away and get something different. Get a new pair for in the house and put these out in the truck. Although I think I have to go look. I got this pair. I got a pair in the truck, and I got a pair in the Buick. But I'm thinking I might have a pair in the suitcase that I used to use to go to the Philippines with. Yeah. I would hate to have to spend that much on glasses. but I had an extra pair I kept in the suitcase when I traveled back and forth, just in case the ones I was using got broke, lost, whatever. Then I had a backup pair. They might still be in the suitcase. Need to go dig that out and see. It's the same thing. Like I've got, I don't know, around 5,000 pesos here of old money that they don't even use anymore. If I was going to use it, I'd have to take it back over there and go to the bank and exchange it for the new money. They're at $10 at Target now. That's what I say. I got these. I think it Save a Lot. You know, it's a grocery store, but I only paid around $1.50 for them back when I got them. And that's all I do with them is just strictly using it for reading, using the computer or whatever. And that's why I keep a pair in the truck and a pair in the Buick, because I'll get up and walk out of here and I won't take these with me because I'm not wearing them. And I get somewhere like go to the doctor's office, I need a pair to fill out their silly paperwork. So if I got them in the car, I can, just grab them and use them. But I've already broke a couple pair of these and tossed them. If you don't pay much for them, you don't mind, throwing them away. Well, that works out. Get paid more for doing less. No, not yet. When he was home 2 weeks ago, he redid his pen and stuff over there to keep the dogs in. So they hadn't been getting out running all the time like they were. And then one day the kids turned around, opened the gate, and let them out. So they had to chase them around for a while because I heard a bunch of noise and went out, and they were out here. One was trying to get under my car hauling, the other one under my truck trying to get at the cats. And then the other day, again, they were loose once again. And I asked the boy that stays over there, he's a 12-year-old. They babysit for him because while his mom's at work. But asked him how they got out, and he said they dug under the fence, so they had to fix that. But after they've gotten loose and killed over half of his chickens and both of his ducks, he's taking a little more time and fixing the pen and stuff to keep him from getting loose. Now, the only thing is I just have to listen to him every once in a while sitting over there just barking continuously. And they're too ignorant to go out and see what they're barking at and get them to stop. I've said before, you can go over there and carry off everything in that friggin' yard, and nobody would know it because they never come out to see what the dogs are barking at. Well, most of the chickens over there never came over here. He has one small black one that he's had for a long time, and it's finally started laying eggs over there and it's sitting on them. But it used to come over here and sit with my cats. Well, that's the thing of it, Mike. I think these dogs would be good dogs if somebody took care of them. But he drives trucks, so he's gone all the time. He was driving just Florida for a while, so he was home every weekend. But he's still gone the rest of the week. Now he went back to driving southeast. So he was out for 3 weeks. He came home for the weekend. He was out a week and he came home. Now he's been out 2 weeks. But that's all he's here is just that weekend. And he don't do much of anything with him. He sits around and drinks for the whole weekend. And she just don't want to take care of the animals. So they get ignored. Yeah, see, the roosters and stuff like that don't bother me. I mean, I hear his roosters over there a lot, but I just get annoyed with the dogs that sit there and just bark nonstop, and the people that own them won't even look to see what they're barking at. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, well, got to have a dog, to keep people out of my yard." Well, if you don't go out and see what the dogs are barking at, it's not going to keep the people out because they know that the dog's going to sit there and bark and nobody checks it. They'll go ahead and go in your yard anyways. Years ago when I had dogs, mine would bark when the neighborhood kids would go by and would stand out in the road and torment them. I got to the point I wouldn't even go outside. I would just yell from in the house so the kids outside could hear me. I said, if you're going to bark at me, damn well better bite somebody. The kids would all take off running down the road. Yeah, and cat food and dog food both have gotten expensive lately, Ken. I don't know how it is in the Philippines because over there they don't feed a lot of pet food anyways. They feed the same thing they eat, which is not good for your animals. But a lot of times it's getting hard to even find pet food here. Last time I went to Walmart, I bought 3 bags of cat food and 3 bags of kitty litter. I spent nearly $100. Yeah, Ken, that's a problem I have with a couple of my cats. Because I go outside, they come up, they run right up to me and want to stand there and rub up against my legs. Then if I start to walk away, they walk with me and they walk between my feet. So I keep kicking into them. One of my females out there the other day came up there and started rubbing up against my pant legs. And I kind of ignored her. So she decided she was going to climb up my leg. Damn claws went clear through my damn pants and my legs. But like I say, there with the feed and stuff, so many people feed them your leftovers or whatever. And I don't. My cats, none of them get any people food. Well, I won't say none of them, because I got a few of them that wander across the road, and I think they're throwing stuff out over there and they're eating it. Because sometimes they'll go over there like that and come back, and then they get sick when they get back. I've said stuff to them about it, and oh no, we're not putting nothing out. But then it draws the bear too, so. I don't think we have as much problem with them as we were for a while, but I still hear that on occasion that trash day's Monday here, that people's trash cans sitting on the side of the road gets the trash scattered out all over before the truck gets there. Because some people don't want to get up in the morning, so they put it out the night before, and the bear comes through and tips it over and digs through it. Okay, everybody, quit talking about Maureen. She's back. No, it's Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Yeah, Ken, we won't tell Maureen what you said about her a while ago. Yeah, and we haven't even had many of those lately, neither. We used to get fires every once in a while, somewhere around the state, but I haven't heard anything about them anywhere in a while. Yeah, I've got a neighbor that keeps saying that all the time about my cats. He knows a Chinese restaurant that'll take them. And that's the reason I've never listed my cats. People, said put them on Craigslist or something. I've never done that either because it's the ones on Craigslist that would want them aren't the ones wanting them for a pet. They're wanting them for snake food. There's some of that happens down here too, Mike. I think I've told you guys about it before. I've got a neighbor that's just 2 blocks down here, right on the lake where I've showed the lake before in one of my previous videos. But he lives along the shoreline, and he had 3 big white German shepherds that are all white. Came home from work one day, could only find 2 of them. Went in the house there and went through his surveillance camera footage and found it where a big gator come up out of the lake and got one of them German shepherds and dragged it back to the lake with him. It takes a fair-sized gator to take down a German shepherd. I saw a thing here in the Yahoo News the other day that down here in South Florida, they just killed whatever, a Burmese python down there. Said it was, I think, 18 feet long, maybe 210 pounds. And when they did the necropsy, or how you pronounce it there, which is like an autopsy on it, I think they said they found 122 developing eggs in it and parts of its last meal. They said the last meal it ate was a white-tailed deer. But so many people have went and bought pythons and boas for pets, when they're small. I think they're so fun. Now when they get big and they're harder to handle, then they just turn them loose. If they get big like that, then there's not too much, predators to it. and it just eats whatever it wants that it finds out in nature. And if it's down in the Everglades and stuff, down there it's basically all wildlife. If they get turned loose in residential area, then it's people's pets that disappear. Yeah, I mean, I can see where something like that happens, by accident. But a lot of these other pythons and stuff, people are just deliberately just letting them go because they don't want to take care of them anymore. It's just like during COVID when so many people were out of work and cat food and dog food and stuff, just kept going up. Yeah, I know. I understood what you meant, Mike. And like I say, an accident I can understand, but a lot of this other stuff's not accident. People are doing it intentionally. But people were taking their pet dogs or cats out and just driving into a neighborhood somewhere and just dropping them off, so they didn't have to feed them anymore. We had a lot of new strays in the neighborhood because of it. It's like one of my cats there that had 5 kittens. A while back, she took them across the road into the brush, which I just kind of got where I accept her doing it, because when she had previous litter, she's done the same thing. I got worried about it back then, didn't know what happened with them. I think she's taking them out to teach them to hunt. They're gone for the day. Hey, Lee, how are you this evening? But when she brings them, she'll bring them back that evening. Well, she went out with 5 in the morning. When she came back, she had 6. She picked up another stray kitten that was about the same size as her kittens, and it's still here. She went ahead and kept it, nursed it, whatever, and it's plays with the rest of them. I'm doing okay. Not too much changes with me. I don't think I've talked to you since last Tuesday this past week. I had laser surgery on my left eye. I go back in tomorrow afternoon just to have him recheck it. Then I'll schedule to have the right one done. Not a big deal. It takes less than a minute for what they do, other than the time you're there for them to give you drops and dilate your eye and all that stuff. I've seen a few of your lives here lately, but I don't know if I've seen any videos lately. You guys aren't out on the boat like you were? Although with the price of gas, I guess maybe not. Ken and Mike, I don't think either of you know Lee. She's a Filipina, lives here in Florida, married to an American. I think maybe she's maybe an hour from me. Yeah, they've been blooming on that for quite a while now. I mean, I got more of them this year than I've ever had before. I just wish they would last longer than they do. I mean, they bloom out at night. If you don't catch them in the morning, or during the night, you miss them, because the next day then they start closing up, then they die and fall off. I've got too many kitties, Lee, if you want some. A let you take your pick. Any of those little ones can go. Well, some of them are too young to go yet, but if you have one that you like, you can come get it when it's time. I think at last count I just lost 3 this past week. But I think I had 31 cats all total. I had to plug my laptop in since I was down to 7% battery. I've done this before, and it'll say that, and I'll just clear the message and forget about it, not thinking, grab the plug. When it gets down to about 1%, it just shuts off. Yeah. And Ken, that's what I say about the neighbor across the road. If she would, talk to the dogs over there nicely, they would come more to listening to her and do what she wants. But she screams at them. But she does the same thing with the kids too. So you take with a dog, if you stand there and yell and scream at it, all that does is get it hyper, thinking there's something wrong. And then they keep on barking or whatever. I mean, because I've gone out here before in the side yard where I can look across the road down their driveway, and their dog would be over there barking that way like that, and I'll just call it by name, and say something to it in a normal voice from over here, and it'll just look at me and stop barking. Or she comes out and screams at him, then it just keeps on going. Well, this has been going over 2 hours. I think maybe I'll go ahead and shut her down. I'm going to have to go out before too long, pick up the kitty's dishes for the night anyways. Okay, Lee. I'm glad you stopped in. You have a good night. I usually go out every night between 11 and 11:30. Sometimes it's later than that if I'm on here. Pick their dishes up and put them inside. That way I'm not feeding the neighborhood possums and raccoons and stuff. And then in the morning, the cats are all sitting out the door, side the door. They're waiting on me to come back out and give them their food back. Because normally cats kind of nibble on their food 24 hours a day. Just to check up, or is he having some problems? Okay, catch you later, Mike. Like I say, I've got to go back to the eye doctor tomorrow. Mine's just a checkup because I had laser surgery this past Tuesday. The film back behind the lens in my eye was clouded up, and so they just done whatever they do to remove that. I had cataract surgery on both eyes back in 2019. Yeah. New eyeglasses are always expensive too. I only use these just to read with the computer and whatnot, so they're just cheapy off the shelf. Yeah, I'm not using it now, so yeah. For a while there, I had to use the magnifying glass just so I could read the chat here. Just having that laser surgery the other day made such a big improvement. I can see things again. I was saying a second ago that I was going to go ahead and end this, and when I said that, then two more people came in. They never said nothing, but the number went up by 2. I was dropped back one of those. Well, anyways, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It was good talking with everybody tonight. Thanks for coming in. We kind of kept the conversation going for quite a while, even though we didn't talk about much. Good night, Lee. And I'll catch you all next time.